Alright, let's dive into something that's been making waves recently, the trailer for the Minecraft movie. And let's not sugarcoat it, it looks pretty awful. Minecraft is the best-selling video game of all time, so it was only a matter of time before a movie adaptation came along. But I think it's safe to say that most of us didn't have sky-high expectations when we knew that a Minecraft movie was in the works. After all, a film based on a video game is always a bit of a gamble, especially when that game is Minecraft, which is essentially a sandbox experience. There isn't any real protagonist in the game. Sure, Steve is the unofficial mascot, but that's only because he's the default skin that you have. You're the main character in that story, and so approaching something like this was always going to be a bit difficult. I completely get that. It's kind of like making a movie on Roblox. Like, where do you even begin with that? At least Minecraft isn't entirely user generated. There's the classic vanilla mode that has a lot of potential for a decent movie, but honestly what we saw in this trailer is worse than any of us could have ever imagined. First off, and a lot of people were very quick to comment on this, even before the trailer came out when we saw some behind the scenes stuff, the film isn't even animated. It's more like a mishmash of green screen mess with some poorly done CGI animation sprinkled in. It's just an eyesore. The animated elements, like the sheep and llamas, look downright ugly. And don't get me started on the logo sequence at the end. It resembles one of those cringy animated intro templates you can import into Blender and put your own username into, which is kind of like what Mr. Beast would roast in one of his worst intro compilations. Like, how is this movie described as large budget? The combination of live action and CGI animation is so jarring that it's almost painful to watch. If they had stuck with the actual Minecraft art style for the animated part, it might have at least blended in with live action a bit better. I mean, if you look at something like Space Jam, the characters are entirely animated, with outlines and everything, and for whatever reason, it just kind of works. Instead, we get this awkward, half-realistic, blocky mess that just doesn't work. Like, why are we trying our hand at both live action and animation? Just pick one. Why didn't they stick to one? I can't imagine having to sit through 2 hours of this. How did the higher-ups approve? Or why didn't they get a second opinion from actual players of Minecraft? Because who is genuinely impressed by this? I need to know. Minecraft's art style is so unique and could really work for an animated movie, so it's baffling why they didn't capitalize on that. Why is it that everything in the movie is blocky, like the animals and crafting table, but the people aren't? The avatars are such a prominent part of Minecraft's identity, and it's perplexing why they couldn't have been integrated into the film with more authenticity. It's almost laughable when you compare this to last year's Super Mario Bros. Movie, which was leaps and bounds better than this. Granted, Super Mario is a franchise built on narrative, with a straightforward story. Mario and Luigi are the heroes, Peach needs saving from Bowser, but who's to say that Minecraft doesn't also have its own narrative potential? Think about it, the journey of gathering materials, building a home, crafting weapons, venturing into the nether, battling the wither, and finally facing the ender dragon. There's a lot of material here that could have made for a visually stunning and a narratively compelling movie. Or they could have even gone the Minecraft story mode route, which I'll be honest, I don't know much about, but something like that would still be appreciated by fans due to its success. But from what we've seen so far, it looks like the film has missed the mark entirely. Instead of exploring Minecraft's rich potential, we seem to be getting a plot about real people stumbling into a Minecraft world through some inexplicable portal. When we think Minecraft movie, this blend of reality and fiction is not what anyone had in mind. Even the Five Nights at Freddy's film, which I didn't enjoy as much as some people did, still managed to be visually decent. Given the dark lore of FNAF, I would have preferred a much more intense take on the franchise, but it wasn't a total disaster to watch. It didn't look terrible, which is saying something considering Blumhouse was behind it. But this Minecraft movie, it's just not cutting it. Now, let's talk about the cast, which is probably the only redeeming feature of this trailer. Jason Momoa easily here for the star power, and his character just looks like he's going through a midlife crisis. Emma Myers, who's been gaining popularity lately, she was in Wednesday and some other things. Danielle Brooks, who is incredible. I particularly enjoyed her portrayal of Tasty in Orange is the New Black, and I think she'll kill it in this movie regardless of if it's good or not. And then we have Jack Black. There's nothing against Jack Black, don't get me wrong, he's so incredibly talented, but honestly, his portrayal of Steve feels cheap and uninspired. They've thrown him into a teal t-shirt and called it a day, and even then, calling this a t-shirt would be pushing it. It's like a v-neck jumper thing with a shirt underneath. I just don't quite get it. Steve is such a basic character. I don't know how they've managed to mess that up. It's like a low effort cosplay, kind of like Jim Halpert showing up to the office on Halloween as 3-hole punch Jim. It's so hard to believe that this isn't some sort of elaborate joke. This is the real trailer, unfortunately. We aren't being faked out, and that is just so disappointing. If they're not going to put in the effort to make the characters fit into the Minecraft world, they could have at least ensured that the actors are truly invested in their roles. Like seriously, have Jack Black change up his hair or literally anything else to make him look more like Steve, rather than relying on the star power to draw in viewers, because let's be honest, Jack Black lately has been really popular in kids' movies. Truth is, when this movie drops in 2025, I'll certainly check it out. Not in a hate-watching kind of way, but driven by curiosity and a sliver of hope that it might turn out better than the trailer suggests. At the end of the day, I'm not the target audience. Clearly, it's aimed at kids who are really into Minecraft and might not care as much about the art style or other aspects that I care about. However, even children's movies should strive to be enjoyable for all ages, including adults. I know I mentioned the Super Mario Bros. Movie earlier, but that did such a great job of appealing to a broad audience. But I don't know, let's just wait and see how the final product turns out. Until then, we can only hope that the film surprises us in the best way possible. And that's all I really have to say about this teaser. Maybe there'll be another one in the future, and I might make a video on that one as well. That said, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.